Good evening, and welcome to Spine Chilling Cinema. I am your host, Oliver, the Caretaker Collins, along with my lovely co-host, the Queen of Shenanigans, Alice, and her trusty, as always, Cat Bubbles. Oh, and do we have a treat for you? Yes, indeed, indeed. A sci-fi film, Alice. You can't believe it. We show sci-fi. Anyways. Tonight's feature film is from 1956, Menace from Outer Space. That is right, Alice. This one is from the Rocky Jones TV show. It's actually 3 episodes edited together to make a feature film, which the TV show was from 1954, so that was 2 years before tonight's film. So they must have just been like, let's capitalize and make a feature film. So, which around the time, a lot of TV shows did that. Yes, indeed. Well, let's get this show on the road, Alice. I don't know if Vena is going to be in this one. I would imagine she better be, because she's your favorite, you say, Alice. Okay. So with that, without further ado, let us get to tonight's feature film from 1956, Menace from Outer Space.
Still see the meteor?
Yes, Vena. And it's drawing nearer and nearer.
You already have a comet named after you, Professor, so this one's mine. You promised. Bobby's comet. Maybe it's as big as the world. Maybe bigger. Maybe
Bobby, just now it's very small, but very menacing. In moments now, it will strike the Earth. We can watch it fall on visiograph. Let's hope it doesn't fall too close.
It'd be a dirty trick if my comet landed on top of us.
There's no sound to a comet or a meteor. I'm going to get a closer view of the telescope. Secretary! Mr. Secretary!
Yes, Professor, what is your latest observation of the meteor approaching Earth?
It isn't a meteor, it's a rocket, a man-made weapon.
One moment, please. Marshal, our latest tabulation, quickly. Position now. Celestial meridian, 87 degrees. Parallel, 233 degrees. Moment of contact with Earth, checked, rechecked, and is now absolute. 15, 10, plus 30.
Professor Newton, who's shooting at us?
I don't know, Bobby. No one knows.
"45 seconds to go, sir." "20 seconds, sir." Past 2 degrees, 0.5 north of here. Why, it's headed right for the Newton Observatory where the professor is. "7 seconds more, sir." Professor Newton, Dina, and Bobby. Professor Newton, answer. Are you all right?
A meteor is playing tag with us, but we're okay, Mr. Secretary.
Yes. Luckily, the weapon just missed the mountaintop here where we are. But I'm afraid it hit the internation airport. We'll drive over immediately and see. I'll report to you from there. Secretary.
Yes, Professor. Did you find where it landed?
Just as I said, the airport. It barely missed the landing strip. Fortunately, no one was hurt. I'll order equipment to lower me into the crater. I only hope there's enough of the weapon left so I can find out something about it.
We've got to somehow. But take no unnecessary chances. Be careful, Professor. We're lucky, Marshal. If this is the start of a bombardment of Earth, their first shot was wasted. Where's Rocky Jones?
That's Rocky in his orbit jet, sir. Rocky isn't convinced that Griff is dead, so he's patrolling the Asiatic region to be on the lookout.
Right?
Hey, Winky. The astrophone's running over. Get on it.
Office of Space Affairs to XV2. Calling Space Ranger Rocky Jones.
This is the XV2 to Office of Space Affairs. This is Rocky Jones.
Cancel your patrol, Rocky. Report back immediately.
Yes, sir. We should make it by 02:14.
Over and out.
Okay, Rocky, cut it out.
Cut out what, Winky?
You know what. You backtracked into our song wash and woke me up.
Well, maybe Secretary Drake will give you office duty at our Tibet Observatory. 40 below zero. That's fine, sleeping mother.
Oh, no, anything but that. I'll stay awake. What in the name of space? What is it? What was it?
Now these are the fragments I was able to dig from the crater. The entire missile, its shell, its mechanism, was built of this crystal-like material, which I would call a poor substitute for our alloys.
Poor substitute, Professor. Well, for anything at all to remain after such an impact, I think, is remarkable, especially after the great distance it traveled.
Phenomenal power, Rocky. Yes. We on Earth, with all our ego, we're far behind whoever built this missile.
Well, what about atomic energy, Professor?
Oh, they probably had that long before we did.
Oh, Marshal, have you been able to contact our Tibet station? Haven't they answered yet?
Sorry, sir, they haven't replied to my signals. I'll keep on trying.
I can say this, however, that basically the power used to project their strange weapon is developed by friction. For example, rub two pieces of crystal together and intense heat and energy are generated.
Careful, Bobby. That's powerful material.
That's right, Bobby. Now, Vena, what are your conclusions in this matter?
Well, sir, I can show you on the map. By backtracking the constant arc of the orbit since you first saw the missile, it could only have come from here, Jupiter's moon.
Fornax. Well, I can hardly believe it. Professor, that moon is so hot it was used to coin our word furnace. Why, Fornax glitters with a white heat so intense, nothing could possibly live there.
Ah, nothing perhaps but crystal. And crystal grows in such intense heat. And growth is life. We've always believed that there could be no life on Fornax. But a true scientist never believes anything until it's proven.
Professor, you've heard the saying, seeing is believing.
Of course, but Rocky, you don't mean that...
Exactly. We'll see for ourselves.
You're a brave lad, Rocky. It will be a dangerous mission. But oh, what an exciting and worthwhile adventure.
Professor Newton believes they need our ores and alloys for metal, just as we would like to learn about their great wealth of energy.
Well, what do you think, Rocky? Can we make it?
It'll be a rough hop, Winky. From right here to right there. And we'll be out of the traffic area all the way.
Mm-hmm. Well, where's our refueling station?
Winky. Right here to right there.
Oh. You mean if we're lucky?
Stand by for report to headquarters. Mr. Secretary, we've made contact with the Tibet Observatory.
Secretary of Space Drake asking information on missile which crashed in your area. Approximate time 1300.
I saw it land, Mr. Secretary, and dispatched the rangers stationed here to investigate.
Regardless of what they find, you are to report simply that a meteor fell. I don't want the real story to leak out.
What is the real story, Mr. Secretary?
2 missiles with fantastic power have been projected to Earth from Fornax.
Fornax?
Professor Newton is certain that the planet is rich in an energy greater than atomic. Brief your rangers when they return. And this information is not to be made public until Rocky returns from an explorative flight and we can stake a claim.
Very well, sir. Now, don't interfere in this, Griff. You haven't got a chance.
So Fornax is a rich prize, eh? And Rocky's going to stake a claim for Drake. Well. Sorry, Rocky, you won't get to Fornax first. In fact, you won't get there at all. We can blast off by 0730. Planetary positions will be at their best. Rocky, I've been nailed to desk duty long enough. May I make the hop? I wish you could, Marshal, but Professor Newton must go to handle the scientific end. Vena will assist him and relieve Winky as navigator. That's my crew. Maybe next trip.
Rocky! What about me?
Not this trip, Bobby.
But Rocky, I'm getting to be a real big guy. I'm growing and putting on weight every day. Gosh, and my muscles are.
Sorry, Bobby. It's a long hop. We have to conserve all space and weight.
I was only kidding, Rocky. You know I'm just a little fella. Gosh, I hardly weigh anything. Really, I'm anemic.
Bobby is more valuable to me than his weight and instruments.
Crew members prepare for blastoff. Bobby, get to work.
Roaring rockets, you mean I can go along?
That's what I said.
Yes, sir.
Stripped of all weapons except the bow missiles, Mr. Secretary.
I'm sorry it had to be done. But with the full capacity load of fuel, you're still on the danger mark of a successful blastoff.
Well, sir, what good are weapons? If the folks on Fornax want to fight and they have as much power as the professor says, then anything we'd have would look like so many pea shooters.
Quite right, Winky.
Ship ready for blastoff, sir.
The ground crew is ready too, Rocky. The propulsion necessary to get you off Earth is 20 tons against a power setting of 8. The acceleration thrust will be G4.6.
Shall I alert the blastoff synchronizer, sir?
I'll do it, Winky. Take positions. Oh, Vena.
I know what you're going to say, Rocky. With an acceleration of G4.6, there will be a shock which will cause us to black out. Don't worry, Rocky. Professor Bobby and I are up to it. We'll be the best crew you've ever had.
Thank you, Vena. Switch on blastoff synchronizer.
Happy landing on Fornax, Rocky. My main worries will be over when you're safely in space. You're loaded with fuel to the limit.
We'll make it, sir.
Pleasant dreams back there.
Blastoff, sir. I sure hope the robot control keeps the ship on course until Rocky returns to consciousness.
I'm sure it will, Marshal.
What's happened? They're in a crash dive.
Rocky! Rocky, can you hear me?
Rocky! Come in, Rocky!
Rocky! Pull out of your dive!
Blast off successful.
Ship under manual control. Out.
Gosh, what happened?
You must have come to and then blacked out again.
Golly, Rocky,
Go tell the crew the blast off was super stellar.
How do you intend to land on Fornax, Rocky, in case there are no landing facilities? Or do we face that problem when we come to it?
No, Vena. If the professor is right, and he usually is, we won't find the necessary steel for a blast-off cradle, so our best bet is to attempt a landing on the tail section. Then we'll be ready for return flight.
Sir, radar scope shows the reflection of a spaceship in the vicinity.
State our flight license. As for identification.
XV2 on license flight 4, 540. Please come in and give flight license. XV2 to unidentified spaceship. Please give flight license. XV2 to unidentified spaceship.
We haven't got a license, Rocky, but you'll find out who it is soon enough.
Griff, huh?
Right.
Take your battle stations.
Load missiles in forward tube.
Okay, Rocky. But that won't much more than scratch the pay of that ship.
I know. Our only chance is to climb up into the rocket warts and score a direct hit in the tubes.
That's going to be awful hot work and awful good shooting. Great shooting, Rocky. Hey, Rocky, switch on the grin.
Look. Call the crew forward, Monkey. As you know, we left with just enough fuel to get us to Fornax and return. We didn't anticipate the incident while blasting off, and, well, now this brush with Griff has used our small fuel reserve. Now, we have three choices. The first, we return to Earth and refuel.
You won't get my vote on that, Rocky.
Nor mine.
The second is to change course, head for the RV-5 space station, refuel, and continue on our way. That should get us to Fornax and back to Earth.
Yes, but Rocky, we can't risk taking the extra time. Think what could happen if a third missile crashes Earth.
What's your third plan, Rocky?
Without further incident, we can probably make Fornax, but then we gamble. Does that moon really have life? And if so, can its inhabitants supply the power to get us back to Earth?
You know how we're voting, Rocky.
That goes for all of us, Rock. You see, even the orbit jet agrees. Can't get her an inch off course.
Hey, Winky, you see what I see?
Well, rattle my rocket reflexes. Crew forward. Fornax, dead ahead.
Mighty meteor. It's terrific. But sort of creepy, too.
How many times have I watched and studied Jupiter's moon in the telescope? And now I'm going to land on it.
Part of that moon looks like millions of diamonds. That starts to confirm your theory, Professor Newton.
Prepare for landing.
take positions and check each other's safety harness.
These instruments must be daffy. We're accelerating at 28 miles per second.
Gravitational pull's terrific on us.
It's twice that on Earth.
Stand by to erect and uncase gyro.
Standing by, sir.
Erect and stabilize.
Erect and stabilize.
Give me a 90-degree arrow signal into gyro.
Signal in, sir.
Hang on. We're turning ship. Set power, counteract gravitational pull.
Counteraction power on, sir.
Give me 3G boost, Winky.
3 Gs.
Give me an altitude count down.
65,000. 55,000. 45,000.
Boost power. Give me more, Winky. More. Full power, Winky. Come on, got it.
Full power on, Rocky, but we can't keep this up.
What's on emergency tank?
We're already on it. Sparkling Stardust, Skipper. I never thought we'd make it. End of the line, folks. Step right up for your first look at Fornax. Now, folks, don't crowd. There's plenty of room for one and all.
Amazing. This means there is life, some kind of life here.
Yeah, but what kind?
Small mind is too ready to accept the apparent. Now, we've always believed that life wasn't possible on Fornax. But look, Rocky, look, those pyramids, now, they are not a phenomenon of nature. There must be a civilization here, too.
Come on, Rocky, let's have a look around.
We better see what we're in for first, Bobby. Winky.
Sir?
Uncage a mechanical canary. We'll first test the atmosphere out there.
Can't take chances in a strange world. Come on, Bertie, get out there and investigate. And listen to me, Chirp Chirp. If you tell me that I've got to put on a spacesuit, I'm going to pluck all your tail feathers out one at a time, the hard way.
Professor, would you take the atmosphere reading, please?
Of course.
Vena, let's bring the log up to date.
Oh, dear. I do hope I brought the right clothes.
So far, there's no trace of dangerous radiation. The temperature and humidity have dropped slightly from inside the ship. Nice little birdie.
Landing on Fornax successful at 1410. But full acceleration was needed to counteract extreme gravitational pull. Our fuel is exhausted. You got that? There is evidence of a skilled human life, and we can only hope that the power which projected their missile to Earth can be adapted to our spaceship so that we can return again. I am hoping we will have the friendly cooperation of the people who probably live on this moon. Well,
The birdie says tweet, tweet, Rocky. It's spring, and it's safe to go outside.
That's right, Rocky. Why, it's comparable to a May Day in Connecticut. I can almost smell the flowers.
Roaring rockets. Let's go out and have a real sniff.
Enter that in the log, Vena.
Oh, Rocky, one moment, please. See, Rocky? I was right about their lack of alloys for steel. And their architecture, it dates far back.
Yes. I wonder how much those stone blocks weigh.
Ooh, twice what they would on Earth. The ratio of weight here is 2 pounds to our 1. We'll all feel it. And we'll be a lot heavier, too.
Well, let's go meet the people.
The seal is broken, sir. The escape hatches and ports are all open, and that's the fresh air of Fornax you smell.
Can we have a look around now, Rocky?
Sure, Bobby, and you'll probably see plenty. Oh, Vena, haven't you been putting on weight lately?
Me? Put on weight? No, I don't think so.
Well, why not try the cargo scales? You better go with her, Bobby, and make sure she gives us an honest count.
She doesn't look any heavier to me.
No? Wait and see.
Gosh, Rocky. She weighs 236 pounds. Jumping satellites, Vena. You gotta go easy on the mashed potatoes. Those shooting satellites. This is super cosmic.
Hey, Professor, you said Connecticut. This is more like Palm Beach, Florida. I sure wish a 200-pound bathing beauty walked by.
Where's the reception committee? Isn't there anyone here to greet us?
Isn't there anyone here?
Hello! 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 Hello!
Rocky, look. Amazing.
Take a bow, Professor. We like you, Moon. You, us, be good friends, huh? Heap cosmic pals? No?
You have journeyed from Earth? Ah, then the flight of our missile was a success. It attracted your attention to Fornax. I'm very glad you like Moon.
But you speak our language. How is this possible?
I have prepared for this occasion. You are not the first Earth people to visit us. Scimitar of Vinovex. Come on, Toe. I am Zorovac, the elected ruler of Fornax.
Well, happy horizon, Mr. Zorovac. This is my boss, Rocky Jones. This is Vena, and Professor Newton, and Bobby, and my name's Winky.
Welcome to you and your crew.
Thank you, Zorovac. It was our pleasure to make this trip to your moon. When we return to Earth, others will follow to establish trade relations with you.
Yes, and of great mutual gain, Zorovac. Our steel and metals in exchange for your... Professor Cardos.
8 years, Professor Newton, and I was the first to explore Fornax. Congratulations on your successful landing. I crashed, and I owe my life to the care given me by Zorovac and his Vansu. Oh, forgive me. Vansu means wife in English. You'll find me a changed man, Professor.
Isn't it exactly as I said, Zorovac? Yes, Professor Cardos. But we lack the materials to build a spaceship like this.
Well, let me show you how this baby's powered. That's where we're going to need your help, Mr. Zorovac.
Professor.
Yes, Rocky?
Cardos. Don't I remember the name in connection with a murder, and then he disappeared?
Yes, Rocky. Lost in space was the general belief. While he was attempting an experiment for personal gain, he ruthlessly killed his 2 assistants. Oh, he was a brilliant man, but an egoist and extremely ambitious.
A rare treat. Your spaceship is a miracle to my eyes. Well, now let me show you some of the miracles of Fornax. My Von Soon will welcome a charming companion like you, Vena. And Bobby, I'm sure my daughter, Volika, will welcome you.
Volika, huh? Let's go, Mr. Zorovac. I've always wanted to meet a girl out of this world.
Please join us. You're about to see a boundless luxury.
Zorovac, Winky and I better stay here and check the spaceship. We'll join you later.
Rocky. Can't we get in on some of that luxury? Why spend our time tinkering, Rocky? Let's go out and see the town, huh?
Sure, Winky, but let's see it first on visiograph. Strange things can happen on a strange moon. Perhaps this headed modulator will cut the density.
I don't know. We're here, we can see it with these things, and you want to see it on that thing. You got it, Rocky. There it is.
Now for a look inside.
Oh, those boundless luxuries.
Bring in the sound, Winky.
So this missile was our only means to communicate with you on Earth.
Yes, of course, but now about this fantastic power.
On Earth, you would call it a highly sensitive form of silicon. For use in the missile, it was pulverized, captured in an object no larger than this. And a series of pinpoint escape valves provided the thrust, giving tremendous power.
Then it can be adapted to the rocket tubes of a spaceship?
It is the only power great enough to counteract the gravitation of Fornax. Without it, escape is not possible.
Well, that's settled. Since they're friendly, we have nothing to worry about.
Oh, that running around sure gets you out here. More than back on Earth.
Daddy?
That's right, Volika.
Daddy, can you play baseball?
Baseball? An Earth game, Zorovac.
Oh, it's played all over now.
Vena!
Wow, get a load of Vena.
Professor Cardos, I envy you your 8 years on Fornax.
Please, Professor, make yourself at home. We'll return presently.
Hey, Rocky, let's get in on...
Professor Cardos, they talked about friendly trading, about the mutual gain of an exchange. Isn't it possible that we could become friends?
Zorovac, I warned you of the way Earthmen make satellites of every planet and moon in space. They first deceive, then colonize, rob, and enslave. For the time being, we'll play their game of deceit.
Good old visiograph. I'm sure glad you decided to tinker with it.
Professor Cardos.
Are a few moments with deceitful Earth people going to destroy the work of years? Point 1 of our plan is complete. We know the accuracy of our missile. And they have sent us a spaceship. Now for point 2.
There's something in those walls that positive rays can't cut.
So you want to see Fornax with these, huh, Winky? All right, let's go.
Right, Skipper.
Welcome back. And oh, Alice, you're right. There is a lot going on. A lot going on. First of all, let us talk about that takeoff. Before the takeoff, there was this noise. And yes, Alice, it was horrible. Luckily, it didn't last too long. But then they all passed out and luckily woke up and fixed the rocket direction, and all is well, all is well. You want a cape like Vena. Oh boy. What did we say about capes before, Alice? You remember the movie The Incredibles? No capes. Whatever she says. Okay. That's a funny one. Alice says that the reason why they passed out on the takeoff is because those chairs looked like lazy boys. I would say the ones for the passengers, but for Rocky Jones and Winky, they were kind of like bucket seats. Whatever she says. Always ruining my jokes, she says. Oh boy. Okay. But yeah, so they landed and they met Zorvak, and he looks like he's being kind of persuaded by Professor Cardos. Which, yes, he seems like a bad man, Alice. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Speaking of bad things, Alice says that she would have been so furious if Rocky Jones and the crew played a joke like they did on Vena to weigh herself, knowing that because of the gravity pull, each pound was like twice as much as on Earth. Yes, and even worse is how they said you look like, have you gained some weight, basically. You don't say that. No, I know that, Alice. I've been on dates before, and I know that's something you don't say. She says you got that right. Oh boy. But if you are enjoying spine-chilling cinema, we have many, many, many other movies you can check out. And if you want to support the show, you can go to Facebook. We have a Facebook. Give us a like. If you comment, just know that Alice is the moderator, and I cannot promise everything will be safe. That's all I'm going to say about Alice being the moderator. We're trying to find a different one. But the only other person we could have is Bubbles, and I just don't think that's going to work. Okay, so we should find out what's going on with the rest of this film, Alice, because as we could tell, things are looking maybe not so friendly. Yes, indeed, indeed. So without further ado, let us get back to this film, which we are both enjoying. We hope you are too. From 1956, Menace from Outer Space.
Bobby's right. Running around in this moon sure gets you. My atoms are slowing down.
Calculations are positive in the warhead attached, Zorvac. We are now prepared to fire a missile every Earth month. 4 of them should turn the trick.
Look, Professor Cardos.
Yes, Zorvac. That's the spaceship that will take us into their communication zone to negotiate a surrender on our terms.
I wasn't thinking about the spaceship. You have always taught me that we were surrounded by a galaxy of enemies. There was no such thing as friendship in the universe. Now that I've seen these people from Earth, I'm beginning to question your teachings.
Let's get out of here.
Hey!
I must tell Zorovac about our friendly visitors from the Earth. He'll be interested in the way you have returned our offer of hospitality.
Space Ranger's job is to keep peace. Mr. Zorovac, don't you believe a word Professor Kardos told you. We don't try to conquer anybody. The laws of the United Worlds of the solar system give every planet and moon their independence. And the only fighting we do, Mr. Zorovac, is when someone gets out of line.
Zorovac, you... There's only one way to settle the discrepancy in the stories about the Earth. I will go with the Space Rangers and find out for myself.
Zorovac, Kardos!
Professor Newton, you and Vena and the boy will remain as hostages under the rule of my Von Soom.
That's superstellar with us, Mr. Zorovac. You'll like her.
I'm sure I will, Bobby. We will give the Earth people all possible assistance in adapting our power to their spaceship.
Hey, Rocky, we've really got some thoroughbreds in the harness.
Oh, good. Oh, Professor, did you take an instrument calculation?
Yes, Rocky, and it's truly astounding.
The mass of the rocket itself is M.8, mass of payload M.5, and mass of necessary fuel load only M.2. That gives us a blast-off mass of M.15, which balances against equation of exhaust velocity. And we thus have an ideal mass ratio of 2.72.1.
Fine, Bobby. Glad to hear it. What do you say, Winky?
Well, sir, I'd say that she's going to work all right.
Good. We'll try test flight tonight.
Please, Mr. Rocky, may I go?
Oh, sorry, Volika, but I'd better make the test hop alone.
Alone, by alone, he means the two of us.
This time I mean alone, Winky. By theory and calculation, we believe this new power is adaptable to the rocket ship, but a test flight may disprove our beliefs.
Testing, stand clear.
All clear, Rocky. Hey, she sounds good, Rocky.
Yeah, and she feels like there's plenty of zip.
Hey, look, Rocky. Can't you be a good guy? Change your mind and let me climb in with you, will you?
The next hop's a big one. I'll shake her down and see you in the morning.
Rocky.
Yeah?
Hey, look, keep with an astrophone pickup, will you? And keep talking, you know, make like a disc jockey. I don't feel a bit sleepy.
Sure, Winky. Well, the heat's on. I'll call in once I'm settled in space, partner.
Amazing! Zorovac, you'll be on the next flight.
Superstellar, huh, Winky?
Yeah, look at her climb. Hey, that sure is powerful stardust you're packing, Rocky. And you wouldn't let me in on the fun. Well, this is what I think of you. Bah!
And the same thing goes for me, too, Rocky. Bah!
And that's telling him, Bobby. You see, Skipper, you got a mutiny on your hands.
Come on down. We'll put you in irons.
Hey, Rocky.
We're not really mad at you, Rocky.
Rocky. Rocky, can you hear me? Come in, Rocky. Rocky. Rocky, please. Calling the XV2. Come in, Rocky. Look, Rocky, will you answer me? Calling the XV2. Come in, Rocky.
Calling the XV2. Come in, Rocky. Calling the XV2. Come in, Rocky.
Still no answer?
Calling the XB2.
No. You know, I was just thinking about something Secretary Drake once said to me. He said, just where you have a pal out there in space and he doesn't answer. There's nothing quite as frightening as silence.
Come in, Rocky.
Look, Professor, if the orbit jet is still in flight and Rocky, well, if everything's still okay out there, what about the fuel?
We've no way of knowing the ratio of consumption, Winky. Oh, I'm afraid I have no answer for any of your questions, my boy.
Hey, Bollica, look. Don't you see something?
No, Bobby. You've been watching the sky so long, you're starting to see spots.
That's not a spot. It's Rocky! 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 I'll never get used to that echo. Rocky!
Set her down, Rocky. Hey, Rocky, come in. He's still not talking. Hi, Rock.
Hello, Winky. Vena?
Gosh, Rocky, it's good to see you.
It sure is. Welcome back to base, Skipper. Hey, I forgot. We're mad at this guy. What's the idea of not calling in and throwing a chill at us?
Oh, believe me, Winky, I had a chill thrown at me. Along with an altimeter that hit me right here.
What happened, Rocky?
All the instruments, including the astrophone, were knocked out. The blast-off thrust pulled them right out of the panel. We'll have to find some way to lessen the power.
Well, that's no great problem, Rocky. But what about the instruments?
Oh, I can take care of those. A little glue and some string and rubber bands. But the important thing is that the blast-off thrust balance exactly to the exhaust velocity, thereby maintaining the ideal mass ratio, which I believe is 2.72.1. However, the toggle switch, which runs the franostat, is sometimes thrown out of kilter, which only proves, as the old man said to the kangaroo, that science is a wonderful thing. Isn't that right, Bobby?
Right, Winky.
Welcome back, Rocky.
Thank you.
And now we can... What do you call it? Oh, yes. Blast off for Earth.
Yes, Overback, as soon as we make some repairs and alter the power ratio. I'm sorry we have to leave you and Vena and Bobby behind. Be sure and keep a close watch on Cardos until I get back.
Don't worry about us. We'll be all right, Rocky.
So, Overback? Jones to Fornax. Your signal is very weak, Professor. This is our last chance to communicate before leaving your zone. But we should be able to contact Earth within the month.
Splendid! Then this wonderful new power we found here is working as planned.
You're cosmic right, Professor. There's only one way to describe it. It's super spatial. In fact, we just passed a meteor like it was standing still.
Oh, Zorvac, would you like to speak with Professor Newton?
Oh, yes, thank you, Rocky. Is my Von Soom with you, Professor Newton?
Yes, Zorvac, I'm here. Zorvac? Zorvac!
Newton to the XV2. Come in, XV2. Come in. Well, don't worry. Your husband and Rocky have already traveled beyond the reach of our words in that short space of time. What tremendous power and speed.
Sparcano, WOV, Trocoven un alcavade governax un officius, Trocovic.
Alcavar de Governox und Sparcano WOV, Trokovic, Darganto.
This is Griff, Darganto. The WOV is crippled as a result of a skirmish with Rocky Jones. You'll have to help us into Officius.
Complete ellipse. We'll take over and guide you in. I'll arrange an audience with Suzerain Cleolanta at once.
Yes, Darganto. Out.
Yes, Cleolanta, I mean Fornax.
There it is.
Here's our chance to claim a moon no one else has claimed. We have the same right to Fornax as the United Worlds.
Yes, if Rocky Jones doesn't get there before we do.
Scientists teach that life is impossible in Fornax. So what good would it do if we did claim it?
On Earth, we also believe that Fornax was uninhabitable. But then they fired 2 man-made missiles from there. They had such power they reached all the way to Earth.
That proves that Fornax has a strange, fantastic power. We must not miss the chance to claim this power for ourselves here on Opetius.
To do this, Darganto, would you like to make an exploratory flight to Fornax?
I prefer to call it a flight of conquest.
A forest of iron and steel. Incredible. Yes, Mr. Secretary, to me, your Earth is truly incredible.
Rocky, I must apologize for my suspicions of you. I see now that Cardos was an evil influence.
Thank you, Zorvac. Sir, the civil police will be interested in a man named Cardos. I know where he can be found.
Would you like going on a picnic? Oh, yes. That's a new and funny word to me. Picnic. Let's go on a picnic every day.
No, Volika, you can't do that. Well, I guess you could, if you pretended this was summer vacation.
Vacation? What's that?
Well, that's when you don't have to go to school.
What a wonderful idea. I like that word. Vacation.
This is sort of creepy.
This is where the missiles are fired.
Are you sure this will take us to your headquarters?
Of course, we're almost there.
Comantura de la Zorovac.
Somebody's talking.
We're not supposed to be here.
Comantura de la Zorovac. Comantura, Comantura. Comantura, de Plantoba von und Rocket.
Comantura, Rocket.
What is it, Volga? Who's talking?
That's Carlos. He wants to overthrow the rule of my daddy's monsoon. He wants to fire more missiles at Earth. Right up to there.
By Ville de Montano. Montano de Rocket.
What is he saying about the rockets?
He wants to fire more of them with those things on.
The warheads on. We better go tell your mother real quick. Come on, before it's too late.
Volika, are you sure you heard Cardos say all those things?
Yes, I was right there, too. She translated it and told me.
I'll talk to those men who are plotting against my husband. And Professor Cardos, I'll teach him a lesson.
You've tried to turn traitor, Professor Cardos. You shall be imprisoned for this. Zorovac Cardos. Sentence shall be passed when Zorovac returns from Earth with Rocky Jones.
Zargato, we can now get Fornax on the videograph.
Good. Now to make a landing and claim it for ourselves before anyone else. What tremendous power it'll give us.
We're entering a strong gravitational field, but I think our ship can make it.
We'll make an observation dive.
$35,000, $25,000, $20,000. You see anything? Any signs of civilization?
Yes, some strange pyramid-like buildings.
A spaceship?
Not yet. Full power on for a tight ellipse. We've got to see as much as possible.
Roaring rockets, Professor. A spaceship. Maybe Rocky and Zorovac have turned back.
Oh, that isn't like Rocky.
Handle the landing, Griff. I'll check and gear for battle, just in case we run into something unexpected.
Yeah, look. Way up there. I can see it. That doesn't look like the ship Rocky took off in.
Bobby's right. Do you recognize it, Professor?
No.
Golly all Gemini. This is terrible. I wish there was some way we could warn Rocky.
Garganto, I have something interesting to show you out there. Something very interesting. There's no sign of Rocky Jones's spaceship. But look, Garganto.
Oh, it's intensely interesting, Griff. Switch on the amplifier.
Amplifier on.
Warning to Fornax inhabitants. We are preparing to land by force if necessary. You Earth people that I see must convey this message to the natives at once. This is Darganto.
You and Darganto came just in time to prevent me from being put in prison.
This is where you convert the crystals to power, huh?
Whoever has this power which we control here can rule the universe. Miss Creolanta, will she appreciate my willingness to cooperate with the officious formation and reward me accordingly?
You put the universe in our power. Name your own prize.
Professor Newton, do you think these invaders will bombard Earth from here? Is that why they've come?
I'm afraid so, Vena.
We've got to do something.
Yes, but if we can.
What would Rocky do in a case like this?
Excuse me, Secretary Drake. Professor Collins has a message for you. It seems to be urgent.
Thanks, Mickey. Excuse me, Zorovac.
Hello, Professor Collins. Secretary Drake. It's a strange missile, sir, headed for Earth. You can see it on the visiograph, sir. Without doubt, it's another attack by missile from Fornax.
Cardos. It's a warhead, Rocky. There's one way. Explode it before it strikes the Earth. Winky.
Yes, Rocky.
Take on a double load of atomic missiles and fuel for a quick blast-off.
Aye, aye, sir.
Fornax is giving us trouble again.
Is it the warhead missile from Fornax? I want you to know that I'm on your side, Rocky. All the way.
We'll talk more about that later. Right now, we've got to do something about Bobby and Vena and Professor Newton. And that missile coming toward us.
We can make pickup on visiograph now, Rocky. What's the plan? We're going to have to act fast.
I know. We'll hold steady on the collision course. We'll shoot at it with a warhead. We've got to score a direct hit and explode it.
It's too bad we haven't got a lariat. Maybe we could rope her on towards Ophiuchus.
Set instruments on missile. Give me a distance count.
Aye, aye, sir. 90,000. 85. 80,000. 75. 70,000. 65. Closing fast.
Zorvac, go into the navigation section and strap down quickly. Take control of the ship, Winky. Secure?
Yes, sir. And what about you? Rocky, you can't stand there.
On your toes, Winky.
Aye, aye, sir.
Missile away. Nice, Winky. Straight down, fast.
Rocky, all right?
Hey, Winky. Hurry up and pull out this power dive. Fornax is that way.
Sipping zenith, Rocky, you're right. Fornax, here we come. Hey, I sure hope our pals are still all right.
Be careful with that sack of crystal.
Fornax to XV2. Come in orbit jet.
Hey, Winky, look. Somebody's calling us.
Fornax to XV2. Come in orbit jet.
This is the XV2 to Fornax. Come in. Come in, Fornax.
Did you hear that, Bollica? It's Rocky. Golly, it's good to hear your voice, Rocky.
Ah, yours too, Bobby. How are Vena and the professor?
Okay, but listen carefully. Darganto is here. So is Griffin Professor Cardos, and a flock of Ophiuchans.
They're waiting for you, Rocky. They're going to blow the orbit jet to bits.
What are their plans? You think they intend to fire another missile at Earth?
I don't know, but I've got a hunch I can find out.
Good. Let's synchronize our watches, Bobby.
Mine is stopped, and there's no way to set a watch on Fornax.
It's 15:44. Try to find out what you can, and call me back at 12 o'clock noon.
Okay, over and out, sir.
Out.
Go tell Vena and the professor I talked to Rocky. Tell him he destroyed the missile on flight. But be careful nobody hears you. Go ahead, beat it.
Now what are you going to do, Bobby?
A job for Rocky Jones. Hurry, and be careful.
Take over.
We're ready to roll the second missile into place, but I wouldn't advise firing until you're at a safe distance in space. The concussion might set off a chain reaction in your cargo of crystal.
Then continue and fire the third missile as scheduled. By that time, Griff and I will be inside Earth's communication zone in our rocket ship so we can observe and act accordingly and warn them of a fourth attack if they don't surrender on our terms at once.
Please, tell us, what have you done with Bobby?
Yes. Where is the boy, Garganto? Where is he?
We granted liberty, made certain laws which he disobeyed. Cardos has seen to it that the boy will give us no more trouble until I take him to Ophiuchus.
Volika, where are you, Volika?
Up here, Bobby. Bobby, what can I do? How can I get you out?
Don't think about that now. You've got to call Rocky. You've got to. Here, Volika. When both hands get together, straight up, you've got to call Rocky.
But what'll I tell him, Bobby?
Shh, the card's coming back.
Go on, Volika. Go on.
They're leaving for Ophiuchus in the morning. And then Professor Cardos is going to fire another missile at the Earth. And they've got Bobby locked up. And Mr. Rocky, they're going to take Bobby with them when they take off from here.
We'll stop them before that happens, somehow. Thanks, Volika.
This sir. The target is Darganto's rocket ship on Fornax.
Right as rockets, Winky.
This will show your technicians how to adapt this power to your rocket ships, making them the finest in the universe. But what about me? You're not going to leave me behind after all I've done.
We'll come back for you, Cartus. Don't worry.
Power on, Winky. Prepare to fire.
Ready, sir.
Enemy spaceship. Take battle stations.
He'll be back. We've got to do something.
Stay at your post. Prepare to fire.
That load of crystal on board? Not me. Time, Winky. Fire!
Kruvak infidels!
I demand that Cleolanta be informed of my imprisonment.
She will be, Darganto. But your case will come up before the United Worlds. You'll get everything that's coming to you, which is plenty. Cardos, you'll be turned over to the civil police. Oh, yes, Griff. I'm sure Secretary Drake will want a hand in deciding your case. You know what happens to spies.
And when it happens, I want to be in on it. As a character witness. Ready for blast off, sir.
Very good, Winky. All right, let's go.
Rocky, want me to count noses?
Here's mine. There's the professor's. She's not going to find Bobby's.
Well, goodbye, Bobby.
Aloha, Volika.
What does that mean?
I'll tell you when we meet again.
Bobby. Tell Rocky Jones that we here on Fornax will be his friends through eternity. If ever he needs our help, all he has to do is ask.
Thank you. Goodbye.
You know, that kid has a way with the women.
Oh, a happy ending. We like happy endings, don't we, Alice? Not always, she says. Okay. But yes, without giving away my ranking, I enjoyed Menace from Outer Space, and Alice did as well. So review and ranking time here at Spine Chilling Cinema. First off, the editing wasn't too bad. I know a lot of people are, Caretaker, why do you care about editing so much? It's because it can kind of take you out of the film. That's why. Everybody in the film acted pretty well. Even with, I would imagine, not too much experience, the children acted very well as well. And yeah, sci-fi from the 50s, usually I'm kind of about, especially the special effects. Special effects weren't too bad in this one. It looked like they tried to hold back on the special effects, which is sometimes a good thing. And I am going to give this an 8 shovels out of 10. Alice can't believe it, because I'm usually kind of rough on sci-fi, and it's usually not my thing. There are some sci-fi out there, obviously, that I really, really enjoy. For instance, this is a little off track. Alice is like, here we go. The original Planet of the Apes movies are that's probably my favorite type of sci-fi. So Alice is like, yes, Caretaker, we know you like post-apocalyptic things. Can we get on with the show? Okay, Alice. So, Alice, what about you? You liked Vena. You liked her cape. And you really liked when she dressed up kind of like in some Egyptian type costume. Okay, Alice, anything else? You also liked most of the actors. You didn't like Professor Cardos because he's mean and you'd like to slap him in the face. Oh boy. And the only other thing you didn't like is when they called out Vena about if she gained weight. Okay, Alice. So what do you give this for ranking? Always gotta top me. Always gotta top me, Alice. She gives it a 9 out of 10. And Bela Lugosi wasn't in it. If Bela Lugosi was in it, you know, Caretaker, you should know by now it would be a 10. I think there was one time you gave it less than 10 with a Bela Lugosi. She says, we don't speak of that. Okay, Alice. So, 9 out of 10 shovels, 8 out of 10 shovels. I would recommend this film for anybody who likes sci-fi, and yeah, for what they had back in the 50s, I am pleasantly surprised, and for a sci-fi film, I think it's pretty darn good. I would recommend any of your friends or family, tell them about it. Yes, indeed, indeed. Oh boy, Alice is like, let's hurry up. No offense to the viewers out there, but she's got a date. Oh boy, and oh no, not another one of those, Alice. They're exciting, she says. Alice likes to go on blind dates. I have no idea why, but I think I know now. She likes the surprise part of it. Well, what if it turns out bad? You have your ways of ending the date. Oh boy, I don't even want to find out what those are. Hopefully it doesn't... I'm not even going to go there. Oh boy. Okay, well, since Alice is in a rush, she wants to go on her date. She says, hurry up, hurry up. They're going to be here. They're meeting you here? Oh boy. Oh boy. But as always, we hope you enjoyed Spine-Chilling Cinema. And until next time, hurry up, Alice says. We cannot wait to see you again.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Stop! In the name of the law! You're pinched! Violation Section 23, Section 9, page 6 of the laws of Lilliput. Running through a stop signal with brass knuckles on. Carrying a concealed loading zone without a habeas corpus delicti. Beating wife with a fire hydrant and all kinds of things and stuff like that.
Hey, come back here!
I'll put a stop to this reckless driving. Where's your license?
License? I'm the mayor, see? And someone's been stealing my swine. Pigs to you! And unless you catch the thief, I'll break you.
I'll have your badge. I'll punch you in the nose. Like this.
Hopper! So, Butterfingers, you lost the loot again, eh?
Hopper!
Don't shush me. Get out of my way. I'll get the pig myself. Get out of my way.
Hey, did you see a pig around here?
Pig? I seen a horse and a cow. Once at the circus, I seen a baboon. But no pig.
What did I tell you?
But no pig. Pig! Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, what's going on there? Hands up! What's the matter with you? Oh, then take one of these. Here. Well, good night.
Good night.
Now get me a fat pig, or I'll eat you.
This little pig went to market. That little pig stayed at home. This little pig got bread and butter. And this little pig got a crack on the dome.
So, wow! Stop! In the name of the law!
Let me go, Constable. I don't want to be a pig. No, no.
I tell you, I'm innocent. I didn't want to do it.
We'll soon see.
Hey, bring in that roast pig.
Stolen pigs is the sweetest ones. Well, what are you waiting for? Bring it in.
Coming? I can't go through with it. He may be married and have kids. Millions of kids. Stop! In the name of the law!
Oh, a copper.
Come back here, you swine!
Reward for your help in catching the criminal, I hereby appoint you my first deputy.